How's it going there now? I was just cruising the YouTubes and looking at the Firewood content, just kind of checking it out, doing some research, and you can kind of see that some of the videos that are the largest videos on the Firewood market are actually kind of not really that special in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Firewood is a simple process, and basically you got 30 idiots saying the same thing that the next guy was saying, and it's getting a little bit repetitive. People are acting like you need a chemistry set to set a piece of wood on fire. Now, that's just not the case. It's a very simple process. If you don't really have anything new to say to bring to the equation there, I'm kind of sick of hearing it there now. You got all these yahoos talking about all this stuff, and they're not really revolutionizing the market. I mean, you cut down a piece of damn wood and throw it in your yard and let it dry for a year, and it's firewood. You set the damn thing on fire. You don't need a chemistry lab to do that. I'm seeing these people with 34 million views and everything on YouTube, and as you got some huge asshole in the thumbnail in there, and they're not really doing anything that's that great. What you got to get with YouTube is it's not always what meets the eye there. There's other things that are going on, so there's a lot of good content out there that's not as big, and it's kind of sad because these people get up there and they're got these views on their videos, and that's not really anything worth watching. So I'm looking for something a little more special, and some of these guys are just so rude, I mean, it's like sharpening a chainsaw even. They get all worked up about, oh, you're not doing it exactly perfect and whatever. As long as you can cut some wood, you're fine now. And I work with several tree services now, and these are professionals out in the field that do this stuff every day. They use a round file with not even a handle, and they get it done on the back of their tailgate and sharpen the chain. It works just fine. They don't port their saws or do any of this modification or anything like that crazy. They just use saws and cut some wood, and it's an easy thing to do. So a lot of this stuff, I mean, I think it's pretty cool if I had somebody that wanted to give me a saw that had no warranty and just try it out and everything. Hey, I'd take it and use it, but it's not really something that it's like gonna blow up your channel and make you famous or anything if you're like doing something that 40 other people are already doing already. It's a simple thing. You buy a saw out of the box, like I said, and cut some damn wood. So like I was saying there, what I did is you can turn on private browsing there on your browser and sign out of YouTube and then go back into YouTube and do some searches, and that way you don't have your own history loaded, and you can kind of search around and just see what comes up. Well, I started searching the firewood market, and really there wasn't anything that I even wanted to look at. It was all just ridiculous stuff, and so I was scrolling through, and a few of the videos I had seen before, there's some neat things about some log splitters that were homemade and actually some unique content and stuff. But I don't need to see some yahoo telling me, how to split a damn piece of wood for the 300th time, over and over again. So a lot of it I don't even care about, and it's just kind of sad because, like I said, there's a bunch of other content out there that's great content and funny content and everything else, and that's not even really getting the views that it deserves. So, I mean, there's a lot of just boring, repetitive, stuff going on, and it's on the front page of YouTube. So if you do that, be prepared to see that stuff. But now you got to get really deep into this stuff and really do your research to find somebody who's actually worth watching there. And another thing that came up in my research there is some of the top searches are how to build a firewood rack and how to cut firewood, and these are the things that people want to know when they're searching for. And well, I mean, I honestly feel kind of silly going out and showing you how to build a damn firewood rack. Now, all you have to do is source some damn pallets or some old scrap 2x4s or something and build you a little frame. Now, if you want to go and make it real nice, you can, but that costs a lot of money these days, especially with inflation and everything being up and everything else. It gets crazy. I mean, you can go buy some nice treated wood and get nice planks of wood there and build yourself a $600 little rack outside your house, and that's great if you're going to just burn some wood and everything. But for me, I got to have about 60 fucking cords out there, and yeah, I need a little more room than that. So I'm not going to go spend $400 on some wood to make a little tiny rack when I got to have all this wood everywhere. So I'm not going to be doing that. What you need to do is source some damn pallets somewhere, and you can find these things. You get on the marketplace, you can find them. And I've also done some delivery driving in my days, and if you really keep your eyes out and know where to look, you can find these pallets. So you can find these pallets. Now, if you look around, they're behind shopping centers, in industrial places, lumber yards, furniture stores, different, landscaping companies, things like that. But I mean, I can just drive down the road, and if you actually if you actually spend time looking for this stuff, you can find somewhere to get some pallets to make a little wood rack, and then all you got to do is screw them together or nail them together, use a little bit of wire, a little bit of twine, a little bit of ingenuity, and build a little rack for your wood. Well, all right, now here's my backyard, and you can see my pallets there. This isn't a close-up of how to build these things, but it's just simple to do. You can see what I did. I just added some supports, and I got all my wood piled up there. I do want to mention a few things about pallets before you go around stealing pallets out of people's businesses in the middle of the night. You usually want to ask for permission before you do this, because a lot of companies, they owe money if the pallets go missing after they're done buying goods from somebody, so they have to return the pallets sometimes in certain situations. And now the blue pallets that you see, those are stolen from Walmart, so I would not recommend going behind Walmart and stealing their pallets because they own those, and there's going to be about 3,000 of them. Just ask for permission before you do this stuff. That's not going to be a beautiful rack, but it is a affordable, easy, cheap, good solution for firewood. I mean, it's just going to sit out there in the weather and rot anyways, and you can go make another one when you need to. But finding pallets is an easy thing to do. If you take the time to do it, you can do it. Drive down the road and be looking. Look behind the shopping centers, look by the dumpsters, and just look everywhere you go, and you can find some pallets. It's not a hard thing to do, I promise. If you put time into doing it, within a few weeks you're going to find some pallets. Now, the other recommended popular search that I was seeing was cutting firewood and things of that nature. Now, if you want to see that, there is a million videos on my page where you can see me cutting firewood. I got Osage orange videos, I got maple, I got all kinds of stuff in the wood yard there, and cutting firewood is all over the place. So, I mean, I could make a video anytime and call it cutting firewood and cut some wood for y'all. There's a lot of that going on YouTube already. If you want to see some, go to my channel. Maybe I'll link a video in the description. But again, that's all over the place. And it's a simple thing to do. You get a chainsaw and you buck up some wood. So let me just wrap up what we've been over here about cutting wood. Firewood is easy. All you have to do, find some wood. Get a chainsaw, you're going to need an axe. Find you some cheap pallets to stack your wood on. Get with a tree service or find some wood and cut it up into little pieces and split it with an axe. Throw it on the pallets and let it dry for 6 months. You got firewood. It will burn. It's combustible. So it's a simple thing to do. It's not rocket science, and I think you can handle it. It just takes a little bit of manual labor and a few basic tools to do. So that's what it takes. And now, if you want to get a relationship with some tree services, it does take a little bit of business knowledge, and it's not easy to do, but you have to drive around and talk to people and take the time to do it. So you can get relationships with a tree service. It's possible to do, but it's not easy. You have to be willing to work. You got to be able to work with them. You got to be able to get to them when they call you and all that type of stuff. So if you're going to want a lot of wood, I would recommend trying to find one now, and you're just going to have a little bit of personality to go in and talk to somebody and figure it out and find them. I've dropped into several, and some of them are not very friendly. And some of these guys, they just don't really care because they just throw everything through a chipper and they don't really want to deal with it, and they're just hourly people. So they're not really going to talk to you. But, you know, if you find the guys, the owners of the company, and the guys that really know how to say that you can save them money, you can save them money. You see, they're charging their customers a fee to dump that stuff in the dump, and it all just is going to go to waste. It's kind of a shame. Every day all over the country, there's just trees that are just dumped all over the place. There's thousands of them. So they're charging a customer a fee to dump that stuff now, and they'll still get the money. But if you come in as a firewood guy and say, hey, why don't you just give it to me or drop it in my driveway or whatever, then they still get the money from the customer to dump it, and then they give it to you and they don't have to pay. So somebody who actually is in the company that gives a crap and knows what the heck's going on will be interested to talk to you. Now, like I said, the crews, when they're out working, a lot of times they may not really care because they're just hourly guys. They want to run it through the chipper and go home, so they don't really care. It's not their money. But the owner of the company and things like managers and things like that, they'll be able to help you a little bit more. So that's pretty much it. You know, I just kind of want to do a quick little video. It's kind of discouraging there when you're trying to do a YouTube channel and you're looking around and you're seeing how ridiculous some of this content is, and it's tough to get going. And if you're a new channel and you're wanting to get started, I would recommend doing something on your own for a change instead of doing what the next asshole's doing, you know, in the video before yours. So I'm kind of sick of seeing that stuff, and it's getting a little bit repetitive, and it's not really rocket science. So I don't want to hear some 23-year-old kid get up here and tell me how to dry a damn piece of wood, because I already know how to do that, and you already know how to make a pallet rack out of some pallets and some wood. It's not rocket science, like I said. I mean, If you're looking for something real unique, I mean, you need to call a woodworker or something. If you want a rack to dry some damn wood on, get a couple pallets and string them together, and you got a wood rack. So there you go, and I hope you have a nice day. Fuck off.